Hello. It's been a long time making this video. The only reason I'm doing it is because everything's out of hand. My life has been completely demolished, disintegrated, and the story you're about to hear is something that's one of a kind, about as sad as you can get. And I'm looking for help now. I've never asked for help in my life. I've always been in business. I've always been the top tier that people ask questions to. I have no one to really go to ask questions, so I gotta make answers. But as anybody knows, if you succeed at anything, you've got a bunch of vultures, leeches, scum that try to knock your name down. And in my case, the rumors and the lies have gotten so out of hand. It involves the law, the county, the courthouse, judges. And it's so out of hand now that it's spreading to people, a lot of people that are indirectly involved. A lot of good people. Good people that should have respect, not be treating me the way they do. So let me tell you why. My name is Brian Bittner. 2017, I had 5 companies. I've started over 12 different companies. My first business was started when I was 12 years old. Now, my mother and father have never given me a dime. My mother's a historical romance novelist, and I'm not going to knock her, because that's not the type of person I am. That is the reason why I want, and I'm asking people to help me. I want the elite, the 1%, not the 1% you hear on TV, not the earners, not the big wigs, big billionaires. They're included. The 1%ers to me are the people that where socialism actually comes from. Socialism is, to me, monetary. Not everyone gets exactly the same things. They're treated the same way. The people that have succeeded at things, that have pride because of it. Whether you're a soldier, whether you're graduated college, whether you've been at a job for 20 years and you're retired, if you're a police officer, fireman, you have this certain kind of respect for yourself and for other people that have done similar things. Even someone that's been a cashier at Walmart for 20 years, I respect them. If I hear that they've been there for 20 years and retired, I'm like, oh my God, how'd you handle that? How'd you handle all those people? I respect them. I'm no better than them. I go to the bathroom in the same toilet they do. I'm no better than anybody. I am better than the scumbuckets that want everything for free. They want to suck the life out of people that actually earned it. And then live off rumors and lies, gossip. Make things up to where it's so bad, in my case, that it's destroyed everything. It's affected my family, my son, destroyed all my businesses. I sit here today with 35 cents in my pocket, in debt, $1 million, maybe. I've had people try helping me, but the indirect people it's so overwhelming now. Good people that are professionals that should respect me are involved, and I'm going to lose. They don't know the real story. By far, do they know the real story? Now, I thought doing what I do and sticking to my word and not doing anything wrong, I'd be fine. Because professional people catch on to that. A cop, police officer, investigator, courts, whoever. They'll see that you're not doing anything. And they'll say, something's wrong here. Not in my case. In my case, I've done nothing. And this started years and years and years ago. Because of greed, control, power, and what they think is gaining respect. They destroyed someone's life. Everything. Now, I'm supposed to rebuild for the 4th time. I've done it 3 times. Because of the small town in this community, people seem to jump on board with each other and they don't understand what's going on. People that know me absolutely are astonished. What's going on? Everybody that doesn't know me is part of this group of people that are demolishing my name, lies, listen to everybody except me, and no one's looked at the facts. So now I'm in a position to where I've got 2 more warrants for my arrest. Out of 12, I've never committed a crime in my life. This is my life. I built it. I don't need anybody telling me what to do, how to do it, and what I've done wrong, because there's no proof of anything. My local police, Clone Township, Berrien County, crushed my name and my business, and they don't have nothing on me. So what I'm going to do, and my parents started this. My parents are the ones who spread the rumors because, and I'll tell you shortly why. They call this a family business. They say they gave me everything, and I now had the business on my own, and I lost it. I'm on drugs, I'm gambling, hookers, whatever. It's not even close to the case. People are so disrespectful for me, they won't even listen to my side of the story, so now they have to. They have to, because I got the proof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in front of everybody, I've never been on Facebook in my life. I got a profile, no picture. I don't believe anything gets everyone in trouble. But now I'm going to use Facebook. It might work. Social media, YouTube. Now people can actually see the real story and listen to my side. Because I'm down to the ground with nothing. In 2 days, I'm probably going to be crucified at the courthouse. Crucified for nothing. These people are trying to get me arrested. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what did I do wrong? The police, my parents. If I'm such a bad character, in this town they have been called anywhere from I'm part of the mafia, part of the cartel, I run a syndicate, I'm a pimp, I transfer drugs across state lines, I deal. All lies. All of it. Not 1 ounce. Not 1 ounce of proof. But yet I'm demised and my name is ruined. Now my son's name is ruined. I earned what I have. I've been in business for 30 years. I started when I was 12 years old. I started official business when I was 21. Now my parents have told everybody that they started the business. That was my worst nightmare. My mother's a writer. My dad worked at gas manufacturing and quit when she sold her first book. She's written 70 now. It's amazing. To this day, I haven't downed her or tried to get people not to buy her books. I mean, that's her success. But they stole mine. They stole my honor. They stole my pride, my name, everything I've done. They stole it 100%. And I'm going to tell you how they did it, when they did it. And you'll see for a fact when it's over with. And everybody out there, Berrien County, Clone Township, my parents, come back. Give me proof. Because see, I have proof. 100%. All you have is nothing. Every single rumor is a lie. Or it's a truth that's expanded to unbelievable depths. See, I'm very popular in this town, this small town. And people are just waiting to just see something happen. And then they jumped on board. And to see parents follow through and destroy and watch their son die, suffer in the middle of the street is beyond me. How I got to this point by professionals being involved blows me away even more. It took me a year, and now I'm getting down to the point where I almost don't care. They're turning me into one of those. I'm not. I'm not one of those people at all. I find myself starting to give up. The last year, it's almost been giving up. I can't do it for my son. My pride, I just can't. I fought by myself for 4 years. I've listened to these people talk smack about me. The embarrassment. The unbelievable embarrassment that I have to people. Every minute of every hour of every day of every month of every year, I think about this. I can't sleep because the rage that leaves so far deep inside me how people just let this happen. And what I have to deal with and what I had to put up with is something that nobody should ever have to put up with. Well, you have to watch people disrespect you. When I know, and I did achieve more than probably most all of them, what I've been through on top of what I achieved, I can probably say most all of them. The problem is I'm no better than anybody. I just been through a lot. I'm not degrading anybody. I'm not bragging on myself. I never have. I've created over $100 million in sales in this company. My companies in this small town. From outside sources. Every customer I have is outside of the town of Coloma. $100 million has run through my hands and my companies in the last 30 years. Almost 300 employees altogether, in and out. Every single one of them that works for my polishing company, M&M Polishing, has been trained from scratch, except very few. A handful I brought in and had experience. Most of them, when I started, were old-timers getting out of the trade, and I had my new way to do it. But let's not get too far ahead here. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am, okay, and how I got to this point. I was 12 years old. I started my first business, night crawlers outside Little Pawpaw Lake. My parents, especially my dad, is a hard ass. He's a money hoard, and he doesn't believe in spending anything on anything. If you have a chair, whether it matches or not, no matter what it looks like, if you can sit in it, why do you need another one? Why do you need another chair? I don't care what it looks like. You gotta sit right. You're sitting right. You don't want to manage your money. Okay, that's fine. He can be the way he has. But see, people, and what my parents have done, if they've told everybody that they gave me this, now I don't know if it's jealousy. It has to be. I don't know what the problem is, but I know that when I started business when I was 21 years old, they were against it. My dad literally told me I was an idiot. I was months away from getting my journeyman mold making card. And he told me if I quit now, before I got the card, I'm a blundering moron. They want nothing to do with it. They got my mother's writing to deal with. He's got his farming, which he farms asparagus at that time. He quit his job when she sold her book, so he tried farming and some other things. And I just did it. I worked 40 hours a week from the time I was 15 years old, several different jobs, multiple jobs at a time, until I started my business. I went through a full program in night school, working 55 hours a week and going to school, and I achieved that. Never once getting in trouble, never once getting one dime from my parents, not a dime, except loans. My first loan, I was probably 9 years old, at 10% interest. My mother had promised when she sold a book, if she ever sold a book back then, as soon as she sells one, she's going to buy us a dirt bike. We loved motocross. She sold one, and we were like, oh my God, let's get it, all right. Well, we looked at them, and one day we went and got out of the truck, and my dad took us to a place, and there was 2 motorcycles sitting there, and we're ecstatic. When we got home, he said, whoa, wait. We're not buying these for you. You're going to pay for them, and we're going to charge you 10% interest. The way we're going to pay back that 10% loan is we're going to work. Now, I live on a property of 29 acres. When we bought it, it was in terrible, terrible shape. So we worked it. We cut down hundreds of trees, split firewood all the time, pulled brush. On top of doing that, I had regular jobs once I turned 14, 15. I think I worked for a farmer when I was 14. My dad has never, to this day, ever given me a dime. Even though my mom's a historical romance novelist, writes 70 novels, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she makes the money that everyone thinks she might make, but I don't care. She can make billions of dollars. But we get nothing, myself and the brother I used to have. Nothing. Every dime I've ever had and earned, I earned it. Every year for my birthday, up until my parents quit talking to me 4 years ago, I received $1 for my birthday. For Christmas, normally, we would get a $5 bill and a box of cherries. It took my wife about 7 years to finally realize that I was telling the truth. They would get presents. Grandkids would get presents. We got very little there towards the end and stuff like that, but mainly it was a tradition, $5 bill and a box of cherries. That's it. So this rumor about everything that was given to me is a complete lie. It's made up. Now, I worked several jobs to pay my father on vehicles that we bought. When I turned 16, I started building Cutlass. I wrecked the Cutlass 2 days after I got my license when it earned in me. So I bought a Camaro from them, for $3,000. And I didn't have the money to put full coverage on it. My dad wouldn't let my mom keep full coverage on it because I didn't have the money to do it. So I'm not going to get full coverage, BLPD. Well, lo and behold, a month later, exact same spot someone rear-ended me pretty much. Someone hit me head on and totaled that car. So I got nothing for it. That ended up being one of my main projects growing up. I was only months in being 16. I started rebuilding it. Bought a little piece of crap car. Worked at a Citgo gas station in Coloma, across from Wesco, it used to be. Worked at the marina, pumping gas on the dock. I've worked at a lot of places. Heavy equipment, farmers. I had as many jobs as I could, including going to school and graduating in 1989. And I started co-op, in 10th grade. I didn't only go to school till like 10:30, 11, and I'd be gone. I was popular in school, I guess. I mean, I really didn't get in anyone's face, and everyone liked me. I ended up getting Winterfest King in 1988, and I was in co-op, as far as I would go to work every day at 10. So I wasn't there for lunch or a lot of the breaks. So I was just there in the mornings. In 1989, year I graduated, I became homecoming king. My brother crowned me, actually. And the reason I'm telling you this, I'm not bragging on it or anything, but I never ran for it, really. I didn't play any sports. I quit wrestling and all my sports, football and all that, in 9th grade year because I had to work. My 10th grade year, because my father and my mother would give me nothing. If I wanted a car, I had to work. Okay. When I was 17, 1987, okay, my parents bought a property up on Friday Road, and they were either going to rent this one out or rent it to myself and my brother for $450 a month. I mean, that was the question. Can you pay the rent? I mean, we weren't going to get off rent. No matter what, we had to pay. So we said, okay. Yes, we're going to go. Hooray. All right, we'll live by ourselves. My mom still helped us. She came and cleaned the house and stuff. But we rented. So I was 17-year-old, living on my own, still going to school. After school, graduating, still living in the same spot. I've been here since I was 6 years old, in my house. 47 years I've lived on the property I'm at now, in Little Pawpaw Lake. I've seen everything change. And I'm proud of it. It's where I've always been, where I always come from. I graduated high school, immediately started college, okay, and working 55 hours a week, standard tool and die, for 3 years. Graduated my apprentice program. Well, it would have been early, except I quit 3 months before I finished, but it would have been about 2.5 years I finished a 4-year program. Took more classes, so 4 days a week I was at school. So I'd get up be at work in Stevensville at 6 o'clock in the morning, be at college, work till 5:30, go straight to college, be there at 6, come home at 9. It was horrific, terrible, but I did it. It made me feel good. When I was done with it, thank God. Never do want to do that again. Horrible. But my goal was to retire by the time I was 50. And I wanted a business. I knew that. So I was looking to see what I could do. I was one of the top apprentices there at Standard. I mean, I was cutting cavity. People know what that is. My second year, and I was decent. You know, I always did my job. Not one person would ever say I didn't do my job. Not one person would say I was a bad worker or a screw off. So in 1991, I started my company, Michigan Mold. I call it Michigan Mold Polishing, against my dad's will. And this is where my life was supposed to excel. And it did. It was great. I worked 100-hour weeks all the time. We ran 24/7. That was our service. We're at the end of the manufacturing process on new molds for cars and automobiles and whatever appliances. 2021 now, we're working on products for 2023 that need to get put together in production. There's tons of work that I'm definitely not going to get into right now, but that needs to be done. So we're the final finish on the tool. It takes a lot of skill, and it's a hand-skilled trade, so people need to be trained. I don't care if you're a rocket scientist or who you are, judge, lawyer, I don't care. You're not going to be able to polish unless we train you, or you're trained by somebody, or you're going to mess up millions of dollars worth of work. These tools are worth millions. So you should know, about being 21 years old, it was hard. A lot of people were jealous by far. Didn't know where I was getting my money from, so they said I was getting it all from my parents. I had a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, a boat. I sold everything. I always had money, a nice car. 2 nice cars, actually. I purchased everything myself. I bought everything with my own money that I paid and I worked for. Okay, everything. Nothing was given. I sold everything I had to start my business because my dad was against me. I took that money. I quit my job. I was scared, but I didn't care. I was going to do it. That's how you, one of the things that make you succeed is you don't think of failure. And I didn't. Not once did I think I was going to fail. I didn't fail. At all. On the other hand, I excelled quick. I have all the original books that I can prove, show you, black and white. Everything I tell you, I can prove black and white. Which is going to probably, I don't know what it's going to do, but everything you know now is wrong. No one's ever heard my side of the story. I started my business, I did all the bookwork, all the paperwork, everything was me. My parents on the sidelines doing their thing. My dad rented me an old building. I had no electricity and no running water in 1991. I didn't care. I had someplace to start. Ran power to it, got electricity, I paid for it. I had to pay to fix it up. And we did decent in 1991. We got a little bit of work. It was up and down. 1992 we picked up. Beginning of 1993, I mean, I can't remember how many employees, but a good handful of employees, and we were busy. I was working day and night, and I was happy. I was born a leader and to run a business and do these things. This just comes natural. It's what I do. So when I work those hours, it doesn't affect me in a harmful way. It helps me because I got a goal. I know when to call it quits, when to stop, when to sleep. And that's what I do. So I didn't turn down work, and I trained people that came in. I didn't even know how to polish that good myself when I started. But in 1993, we were booming. Everything was paid for cash. My business was paid for cash. And my dad approaches me in 1993. In the old building with no running water and electricity, well, it had electricity. We never had running water, by the way. We were in our house with the bathroom. He approaches me and he asks me, he said, "Son, I remember the day. I can see it plain as day in my head. We were in the back room. I was putting up a piece of plywood. He was helping. He stopped. He goes, 'What do you think about bringing me on as partner, me and your mom? I always wanted a family business. I'll put in some cash. We can invest the cash, and we can help you. Your mother can do the books. I can do the drive-in and everything.'" And I'm like, "Sure, that sounds cool. I want to make my dad proud. Every son does. Sure, Dad. You can become partners with me." I felt proud to do that. I felt proud to give my dad a business. And I was happy to do it. And never once did I degrade him or anything. The first goal was to become incorporated. We wanted to become a Class C corporation because my mother was a writer, and he wanted our personal liabilities protected. And the way to do that was become incorporated. That way, our personal assets were protected, I guess, and we'd have shareholders, and we'd own the company. I said, okay, I'm busy working. My hands are bloody. I mean, polishing's hard, okay? It takes a lot of handwork, a lot of stamina. It physically can drain you, especially the way we were equipped back then. We're equipped better now today than what we were. It's not as hard. It's hard, but it wasn't as hard if you were back then, you'd understand. So I said, fine, go ahead and do that. My mother's supposed to do the paperwork. Now, I had the books from 91 to 93 with all my handwriting in it. My parents are nowhere to be found. Nowhere. They're not even in any paperwork anywhere. So my father and mother go to get us incorporated. And they do. They bring the papers to me to sign, and I sign them. I remember that day also. It's a big day. These big days stick in people's heads. There's always certain instances, and these stuck to me. They mean a lot. These are huge decisions. My father stood up and said, son, congratulations, 50-50 partners in the Class C corporation, 60,000 shares. And I said, that's cool. And I had a couple of my guys out there when they did that. And he shook my hand, looked me in the eye. Congratulations, son. 50-50 partners. You got Class C corporation now. Saying, like, okay, yeah, it sounds cool. I got a lot of work to do, but that's awesome. I mean, I felt proud. That's cool. I wasn't going to look very cool if I failed, so I got to keep going. And I wanted to build it now to be a corporation. I don't want to get out of this shit building I was in. And that was next. We started building a new building across the lot. Now, 1993 finished up. I have the bookwork and I'll show you. 1994, 1995 were all good profit years. The corporate book shows it. In fact, I might be able to show you a little bit. Okay, this here is the original corporate book with corporate minutes that my parents and myself used when we became a Class C corporation in 1993. What it shows here, and you'll know why I'm telling you this right now, it shows our minutes and our profits and what it says. Now, once we go through, and you can, hopefully you can read this, but I will have a second video here that will have all these pictures loaded up, so you don't have to concentrate on these too hard right now. But what it says is that, excuse me, it says right here, this is in 1994 March. Income for the first quarter of 1994 was $147,000. 1994. Now remember, I started in 91. That's pretty decent. That's a quarter. That's 3 months. Payroll was $56,000. Blah, 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 blah. For a net profit of that quarter, $29,000 profit. We're booming. Everything we have is paid for cash. I'm ecstatic. Class C corporation, we're booming. Now, let's keep going to 1995, which is here. It says Larry Bittner will take a one-time salary, no health insurance, we'll hold regular meetings. Money profit-wise was with that 1995. Here we go. So this shows dated January 4th, 1996. 5 years after I started business. We're rocking it. 1993, 94, and 95. These figures are attached to this. In 1995, income was $474,000, with $100,000 still owed by customers. Expenses were $426,000 for a profit of $47,000. All money in hand, investments and checking, as well as all stocks, sorry, I can't read upside down, I guess. That's one thing I can't do. But basically, we were worth about $100,000. Or, I'm sorry, $200,000. Okay. Oh, savings and checking, I'm sorry, as well as stocks. So all of our cash, savings, checkings, what's over us, at the end of 1995 equaled $90,000. Payroll for 1995 was $239,000. Then we really started going. Ways to provide, blah, blah, blah. The company will pay its $12,000 lease to Larry Bittner because he never wanted to make a paycheck. He wanted me to pay him lease, quote, which is a lie, lease, so he would have a passive income and would pay income taxes. He didn't want a paycheck. So we had to pay him $12,000 lease on a building. They called it Bittner Farms, which back then wasn't Bittner Farms. In April 1996, a new lease agreement for 1996, prepared by Roseanne Bittner and signed by Larry Bittner and Brian Bittner, witnessed by the employee Jimmy Young, returned to Roseanne Bittner for proper filing. This is where everything goes south. January 4th, 1996. My life is great. I owe nothing. I have cash. I am booming. All my guys that work for me trained, and I do 100% of the work in that shop. Now, my parents said they started this company. That's kind of funny. Maybe some questions should be asked before I got to this point of devastation. Why did they start the company? How did they learn how to mold polish? How did they hire me? Did they train me? Or was I hired from another business trained there and then I came to them? I mean, how many employees did they hire themselves? How many jobs and customers did they deal with? Did they ever polish a mold themselves? No. They didn't even know what mold polishing was until 1991. But they're my partners. Fine, that's fine. That's what I thought. But there's one goal they had that I didn't know about. Now it's to control all. So what happened now? So now, January 4th, 1996, everything's great. I've never been in trouble. I've never had any issues with the law. I've never done anything wrong. Only thing I've ever done is work, go to school, earn money. Because my goal still was 50 years old, retirement, and to enjoy my life. I gave up family, marriage, kids, everything up to a certain point. I started late and all that because I didn't want to involve them in this nasty schedule I had of training people and working nonstop. It's a bitch. It's not easy. It's hard. Now, this part of the story, I'm going to prove some facts that everything I say is true. And what I had to go through, the mental, physical dilemmas I had, excruciating embarrassment and pain that I was purposely put through for one goal: money. I just showed you how profitable we were until January of 1996. I showed you that we were worth, says there, $90,000. That is checking, savings, as well as stocks, cash in hand with $100,000 owed to us in customers. So our receivables are $100,000. We had $90,000 cash. Okay, everything at that point paid for. Awesome. Then, around July of 1996, I go out and buy myself a new Camaro, red Chevy Camaro, with my own money. We bought it through the company because my dad wanted to write it off. Fine. It was coming from me, my pay, like it always has. He didn't know what I was buying. I pulled up in it, and my sunglasses on, radio playing, buddy next to me, proud as hell. Pulled up in it, my dad seen it, went ballistic. What the hell you think you are, you little godsucker? You think you're Mr. God Rocks? You like I'm supposed to be Mr. Cool. You think you're Mr. Cool? You got all the money in the world. Where you think you got more money than me? God damn it! Starts screaming, yelling at me. We get this huge blowout fight, huge, and I freak out on him. Screw you, blah blah blah. We get this huge fight. A couple days later, I come in to work. Actually, the date was August 6th of 1996. I come into work, and there's police officers at my shop. Okay? I've never been in trouble in my life. Pull up in my car, get out, walk in the building, and they, you gotta get out of here. You need to leave. Now, of course, they think everything's given to me. And my parents, I told them the worst thing you could ever do to me is make it look like you gave me everything because you gave me nothing. And I'm some snot-nosed, rich punk kid with a silver spoon born in his mouth, and you gave me everything I have, and I've done nothing. And I'm a piece of shit. Okay? That's the worst ever. They knew that. I walked in that building, and those police officers told me to leave, and I argued with them. And they said, you're going to go to jail. You want to get arrested? Get out of here. I started getting in my car. There's no. My dad's in the back going, you're going to be a piece of shit. You're a drug addict. Little bitch. Get the hell out of here. Screaming, top of his lungs. I didn't know. I was blindsided. What the hell? What's going on? From that day, it was the last time I really talked to my dad. In that year. Or at that moment in time. I left walking. They kicked me off my property. I left walking. And I was pissed. I didn't know what his deal was. What happened? I had no clue. In front of all my guys and everything, they made me leave. So I had to hitchhike. I had no money because everything I have is in the company name. So I can't use the bank account. I can't use a vehicle. I can't use nothing. Every single thing I have is in my company. Everything. My whole personal life, everything's in that company. The only thing I pay is my personal bills, my electric, rent, things like that, off my paycheck. But all my money is in the company because we get paid minimal. Because we invest every dime in the company and let it roll. Plus, we invested every dime in the stocks. So I'm walking, I couldn't believe it. I was shy of crying, but I was pissed. More than anything, I'm like, what the? They wouldn't even explain to me what they're talking about. I hitchhiked to Stevensville. Talk to a customer that's been with me since day one to pay me on some invoices that they owed me because they know they owed me. And they wrote me a check for $10,000. I was able to, after a while, cash the check. Chemical Bank, my parents called and told them not to let me have anything for Mr. Mold at all. Even though I had a check in my name, personally, written from an individual out here. I'm 26 years old, a 26-year-old man. They wouldn't cash a check. I said, what do you mean you're not going to cash my check? Your parents called and said not to let you cash any checks. I don't give a shit what my parents said. I need to cash this check. Back then they had blinds. Yep, Chemical Bank right across the street from the mall. Turned their blinds, shut their blinds right on me. Thought the cops were going to get called, I left. Eventually I got the check cashed, got out of a hotel room, went to an attorney. I said, I don't know what's going on. This is pathetic. And it's embarrassing. Screw my dad. I just want my half. I'll get the hell out. Okay? Sure, son. That's fine. So I pay him. Starts getting into it. Looks into it. He comes out. And says this. This is where my life changes forever. Sorry to even say it. He comes out and he says, son, so what? You don't own that company. What do you mean I don't own the company? No, you're vice president of the company. but you own no shares. Your parents own that company. You can't do anything about it. You can't take anything. It's legally in their name, and they own it. The feeling. Can you imagine being 26 years old, everything, college, picking asparagus for my dad, pulling the brush, getting paid peanuts, paying him 10% interest on every loan I had. Can you imagine doing that? Underneath the tree. Just like my life. Can you imagine the feeling I had when he tells me I own nothing? And I could get in trouble for the check I just got from a customer. We're a Class C corporation. You can't just do that. Everything flashes through my head. Everything. My savings, working when I was a kid, when I was growing up, my apprenticeship. I mean, it was the utter hell I had to go through to achieve what I had. And they tell me I have nothing. What happened there, and I'll have these posted up, was this. I went to an attorney's office and I signed the papers, and they knew I was busy. 80, 90 hours, tired as hell. They just had the papers for me to sign. Okay, Mommy, Daddy, I'll sign them. This is the main paper I signed. If you look at it, this paper says, Notice of Dissolution of Co-Partnership, Business under Assumed Name. What this paper shows is that my sole signature, Brian Bittner, right there, shows that I own the company. They co-conspired when they asked me to become partnerships. They co-conspired together to steal every single thing I had. And they didn't tell me. Years later, I find this out. I go ballistic. I can't believe that they made me sign this. So it means I own nothing. But what they had to do to show that they tricked me. My dad makes up all these stupid excuses of why. He even admitted on stand. We went to trial. He just stole $600,000 worth of property from me because the courts, the judges, everybody, the law, thinks I'm an idiot. They think I'm a drug addict piece of shit that would have everything given to him, and I deserve what I got because I'm losing everything because Mommy and Daddy didn't support me anymore. It's a lie. It's a freaking lie. All of it. They stole my company from me. It proves it because my name is the only one here. And what this does, this dissolves the name Michigan Mold Polishing. Okay? In order to start Michigan Mold Polishing Incorporated, you wouldn't need one of these, but you would in order to dissolve this name because the state won't let you have two names. So I signed off my company, dissolved my company. They started a brand new company with the exact same name, and I never knew it. So all the papers I signed was to sign off my company. Now, when they brought me papers and I shook their hand, it was corporate papers. I'm vice president. I let my daddy be president because he's my dad. I want to respect him, so here. You can be president. I don't care. Vice president. In my book, we're family. I mean, we're never supposed to be here. But just listen. I let him be president. I signed on. They planned this in 1993. Within 2 weeks of asking me to become partners, they stole my company and did not tell me. To prove that, if that's not good enough, that I own the company, the profit, all of my money was stolen. You understand? Everything. He was so busy, he left me with zero. In fact, August of 1996, we were worth all that money. January 1997, I filed bankruptcy. I had zero money. My parents wouldn't even pay my personal bills. They wouldn't do nothing. That's how bad it got. I got pissed. But get this, here's the catch. Okay, well, here's more proof. My parents stole it, so if you look at the actual papers here for the corporation, you can see that we have articles in the corporation. Okay? Here they are. If you notice, when I signed this paper, it's dated April 28th, 1993. Signed by me solely. Because they didn't own the company at all. I started the company. Which proves huge fact number one of their lie. Okay? I didn't lie. They had lied. In order to control their embarrassment is what they've done to me after that. Notice this one. I showed you articles of corporation. Second page. Who signs on? April 29th, 1993. Larry D. Bittner, as sole owner of Michigan Mold Polishing in 1993. April 29th, 1993. It was August 6th, 1996 before I found this out. To prove even more, here's an original copy of the tax records. Okay, this is 1994. I have 1993, but it shows here. But lo and behold, look at Schedule K. Larry and Roseanne Bittner. 50-50. Right there. I'm nowhere mentioned. They did this on purpose. Now you have to excuse me because from here on out my life changes. I still stuck to my word. I still stuck to my honesty. I still stuck to everything, and it's gotten me to this point. But now I need help. I've done nothing. The madder I got, the crazier I was. I couldn't say nothing to them or I'd get arrested. I couldn't do nothing, I'd get arrested. My mom has this story. I'm beating on the windows of her house and I want money for drugs. So they pushed it on drugs. Okay? They wanted everyone to think. See, here's what happened. In 1996, to that point I never touched anything. And I did do some alcohol. We had parties once in a while, but anybody that used any hard drugs in my parties, I'd kick them the hell out. Get out of here. I don't want you around. And I was a hard ass because I didn't want it. I didn't believe it. But the more I was in business with my father, in the corporate books, which I can show you later, it says he wants me to start working more nights and days. Imagine that. Well, he's working 6 hours a day, max. He would only work. I don't ever remember him ever in my life, 30 years being in business with this guy, working past 11 a.m. He would get pissed if he had to drive on a drive and be back after 11. Okay, but he made huge money. Okay, so he tries to tell me that I have to work more hours. And it says it in the corporate books. He wants, because night shift's out of control, he says. They're losing too much money, so he does nothing for the company, nothing but bitch, okay? So I said, okay, fine. I almost couldn't take it. I would work literally. I remember working 3 months straight of almost 18 to 20 hours per day, 7 days a week. I didn't even watch TV for 3 months. I'd come in, pass on the couch, wake up, go back to work. Okay? One Friday night, my friends had a party, and they started using some cocaine. Try to get me, I'm like, now screw you. Dead time. Now I gotta go to work. So they talked me into it. First time ever, trying hard drugs. That's all I did. Okay? I tried it. I'm like, oh, jeez. Really? I guess this is pretty cool. I knew nothing about addiction. My brain wouldn't go to addiction. It was business. I was 100%. When my back hurt, I would take a painkiller. Okay? If I had a headache, take ibuprofen. Drugs are drugs, and they're made for reasons. That's my mentality. Okay? An addict just wants it to feel better. But there's some behind addicts, which I'll tell you later. But that doesn't mean I'm an addict. Because I just try something. But here's the problem. I bought some. First illegal thing I've ever done. Scared to death. Bought a bit of it. And put it away. To be used only on weekends or something. I'm working too much and I can't stay awake and I got this job that has to be done. And my goal was just to get done. My brain and everything would never have changed from that attitude. If it weren't for this. Ever. But the people that introduced me, I guess you would say, did work for me. One of them. And I was constantly badgered. Come on, man. Come on, let's do something. Come on. Like, what? No. I ended up firing him. Get out of here. That's what I think started the thing with my father. Because at the same time we were fighting, and I got the Camaro, they go under me, probably, and tell my dad that I'm hooked on drugs. I'm using cocaine. To get back at me for letting them go. That's what it was. By far was I hooked on drugs. By far was I doing anything wrong. By far. Within 2 weeks span of me first ever trying it, I'm kicked off and I lose everything. I'm not saying it's a good thing to use. Anything. What I'm saying is that in my mentality, to this day, drugs are used for a reason. There's just some drugs that are illegal because they're probably too highly addictive. Whatever. Okay? Everybody uses some type of drug somewhere. Vicodin or Valium, or they get something from their doctor. I don't know. Mentality. I don't know. It's somewhere. Every old person on medication. For what? Whatever. Anyway. But that wasn't. So here we go. So my dad saw that as an avenue to steal my company. Because he was believing them that I was a drug addict. So what he did, he knew that him and my mom planned and did steal every single dime I ever had in my life when I was 26 years old. They stole my career, my life, my future, everything, my past. They took it all. He saw that as an opportunity as an excuse to say why he has the company, why he took it. He tells people now that why he wasn't just ready to have a business. He's a liar. I have proof of everything. Okay? Everything. I will back up. Everything. I'm sorry I get worked up. This is kind of personal. Anyway, but this is why I'm in trouble today. Because professional people believe them over me with no proof of anything. So when I obviously went ballistic and said, where else my money? What's going on? And I did go to my parents' house and hit their windows. And this is a story my mom says. He was crazy. He's beating our windows. He's just begging for more drug money. Liar. I was begging for my money. Any money. They gave me, you don't understand. They took everything. When that 10 grand ran out, there was nothing. I had no income. The embarrassment alone was unbelievable. My company is now shooting down. Sales are plummeting. Okay, see, my dad didn't realize that I am the company. Okay, he thought that he was good enough, we were making profit. He was so enough that they could steal my company, make me look like a piece of shit that was given everything he has or ever have, and they go away with the company, and I actually might become a drug addict. Yay! Then he can prove it and say, hey, he's a drug addict. Now, didn't happen. That's weird because anybody that knows a drug addict can follow me, okay? It's a life process. It's a time process. Ups and downs. Tears. Happiness. Find out. Talking. No talking to me. I heard zero from my parents. Next thing I know, the cops are after me because they're saying that I'm this horrible person. I'm stealing money. They make up every lie they possibly can. So I cannot believe it. So I disappear. I get out because I'm wanted by the cops. Now, I did get pulled over. I got 2 possession charges. And I was out on bond. How they got there, I don't know. I've always thought cops set me up. Cops set me up. Screw the cops set me up. I don't know what happened. I don't know. My friends put in there. But I'm not stupid. You don't try it and then become totally an imbecile in life, okay? I'm not going to drive around with a big bag of cocaine in my car, okay? Especially when the cops are after me. But apparently I got pulled over and there's another possession and another possession and I'm freaking out. I'm being set up. I wasn't even on it. I didn't mind cocaine. I never got crazy on it. But of course, anybody you talk to, if you say you're an addict, you're in denial. You know you are. I'll believe it you want, I don't care. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. I'm asking anybody out there. Anywhere. What have I ever done belligerently? On drugs, I was screwed up, I stole stuff from them, I beat them up, but no. Well, come on. A lot of people watching this probably, let's see. Anyhow, that was his excuse. My excuse, it was the Camaro. Which is not an excuse. He got pissed. Pissed. And when he's so mad at me, he would have done anything. Because he knew that I could take him out. He knew with it, what I said, he gave me a $10 bill, give me a diaper, a chisel, and a $10 bill, I'll run you out of business. With no debt, of course. And I could have. He knows nothing. Nothing. Give me $10, I'll buy one of those stone, I'll polish his ass, and he'd be gone. He knew this. So he had to lose his investments. He didn't want to lose his investments. He didn't want me to take half. And prove that he stole my company. He made me look demoralized. Now he started telling me, because my mom's a writer, and I was only 21 when I started, that I must have been given everything I had. Kids at school said it. I got in a fight one time because some kid said it to me. You got everything mom and daddy gave you everything. No. Not even close, punk. So I was proud of what I did. I didn't get no one's face. I didn't brag on myself. I wasn't conceited. I wasn't nothing. Now I'm trying to explain this to professionals. Now, son, hey, if I get upset like I just did, I'm getting upset now, I'm sorry. If I get upset, I'm a drug addict. If I talk loud, I'm an asshole drug addict. If I say that it was them and not me, it's an excuse. If I say anything at all to anybody. It's an excuse. You're a liar. Yeah, whatever. So you know what I did? Shut my mouth. Okay, so here's your drug addict for you. We'll go back to the corporate books if you want to, because if you remember, August of 1996, I'm a complete, whacked out, nut job addict. Weird that we're making money until August 6th. Now you want to know why I go crazy? Because August 6th, they come into me and they issue this. Now I had to see this before I knew what was even going on. He shows me this. This paper here. Can you imagine this? August 6th, 1996, in the corporate book. Never saw this till very recently when devastation hit again. But be it resolved at a special meeting called by Larry D. Bittner and F. Roseanne Bittner as sole owners and shareholders and as the majority of voting directors of Michigan Mold Polishing Inc. that Brian G. Bittner has been removed as director and as vice president and general manager of Michigan Mold Polishing Inc. This removal is effective August 6, 1996. They fired me from my own company and gave me nothing with no explanation. I did not speak to these people for a few months at all. The devastation that did to me, mentally, physically, was the most overwhelming thing you could ever go through. To me, my company was mine. It's part of me. And there's no way I can explain to you how much it hurt. Just like a parent losing a kid, a sibling, a son or a daughter. You can imagine, but you're never going to feel it. Unless it happens to you, which God forbid it ever does. But they know the pain it actually is. This was me my whole life. And now I'm being looked at as a piece of crap, silver spoon born in his mouth, mommy and daddy give him everything, drug addict, idiot that knows nothing. That's the way they portray me. So what do? I can do nothing. The law is involved. Okay? Columbia Township. They're all after me. I left for like 3 months because I didn't figure out what was going on. I was wanted all over. Finally, they got me passed out in a van in St. Joe. Here I am. Big piece of crap. 2 or 3 felony possession charges. Go to jail. Plea was 5 years probation, time served. Pled to 1 possession charge. Now I'm a felon. I'm a felon. Okay, granted. I did something I never should have done. Try drugs. Try hard drugs. But I did. Not maliciously. And just like millions and millions of other people, I'm sure, would have overcome it. Didn't need this. And what they did is they did to me what they were claiming drugs was going to do to me. They didn't even give drugs a chance to destroy me. I mean, not even a... Drugs are probably jealous. I couldn't use them. So here we go. I'm this crazy... We're talking... The cops think I'm everything. The rumor is I'm the reason I got money is because I'm dealing drugs, guns. It's pathetic. My parents are telling them everything because they want me demoralized so they don't know and they won't believe my story about I own the company and I started it. They won't believe it. Every time I brought it up, it was like it's on your denial. It made me, the anger and the rage was so bad, I had to just block it out. Okay? Block it. 5 years probation, some rehab. Okay? 90 days in jail, 75 days in jail, whatever. I get out, my hair's all shaggy and stuff. I got to go to rehab. 30 days. Fine, granted. I did it, I pay the price. I get out, of course, my mom takes me to Coloma to get some breakfast, and of course, hey, my son, he's a drug addict. He's the one, that's him, he's going to get help. He'll be fine. Ugh, Jesus Christ. sorry, let me say that. Cheese and rice. It's embarrassing as can be, but I sucked it up. When I got back, okay, started working again. I think it was January. Right. I think I was home for Christmas. So December '96, I'm back. Okay, the company's straight down, nothing. We got like 2 people left. It's hideous. Okay, my dad doesn't have a clue how to polish a job. The guys, by far, millions of miles away from running the place on their own. He wants me back. So they bring in the story that the reason they put it in their name is because I wasn't married. It's still your company, son. We just want to protect you. You're not married yet. We want to make sure that, you know, you don't get hosed by some woman someday, and we just want to protect you, you know. And we thought you were really on drugs, and we were told him we were telling you some drug. Okay, fine. So I believed him. But everything's still yours. Okay. Now the building that we built in '96 was not paid for completely yet, because when I was there, we were paying a lot on it because we paid cash for it. But I came back to work, and you see the papers, I'll show you, in '97. 1997, and I'm fine. Now, what happened to the gun-running, POS, silver spoon war's mouth, punk kid, drug addict? Because my life was like this. Also, it goes straight down. Straight up. 4 months and it goes. That's weird. If I'm such a piece of shit, it seems like anybody that's ever been around that knows it doesn't go that smooth. Okay? No. You don't go, serve your time, probation, rehab, come out, and be fine again. Now, of course, there's times that you think about it, it's not, it's proven, a proven fact how drug addicts work. Okay? So they had to make me look this way, no matter what. Even though there's no proof of anything. There's no proof of me doing anything. And come on, like, to this day, which I'll say the same thing later, but to this day, anybody that has a complaint about me and drugs, let me know. It's got to be out there because I'm a horrible person. Horrible. But this is how my name even got worse. So now I come back in 1997, and we end up talking about this bill. All right, before I go too far in 97 here, I forgot that a couple things in 96 you need to know that I went through. Now, August 6th, 1996, I read you the one memorandum out of the corporate book. Here's the second one, August 8th, 1996. They write, let it be resolved in a special meeting called by Larry Bittner and F. Roseanne Bittner, the sole owners and shareholders. Now, if you look, I have paper after paper after paper after paper of all the corporate meetings. Jean Post, all the corporate meetings up until this happened. Never one time did they say sole owners of Mission Mobile, which is number 2, proven that they stole it from me and tried to hide it from me. They wanted me to make the money. They didn't want me to have any of it. Okay, this is proof. There's no sole owners anywhere when I signed the corporate papers. There's other people signing. If you see, I was gone. So there's one lady signed this one, lady signed a different one. I'm not involved. Remember, I'm kicked off. So this comes out and says sole owners, shareholders. Imagine that. As a majority of voting directors, know that this is of Michigan Mold Polishing, that F. Roseanne Bittner has been appointed Vice President, Secretary of Michigan Mold Polishing, Inc. Both F. Roseanne Bittner and Larry Bittner will act as Union and Treasurer of Michigan Mold Polishing, Inc. These appointments are effective August 8th, 1996. 2 days after they kicked me off the property, she becomes Vice President, and they're going to blame it all on me. No one's ever going to believe that they actually stole it in 93 when everything was fine. 94, when we made tons of money. 95, tons of money. 96, tons of money. Until August. No, it's me. I'm a piece of crap. They hoped, when they heard from my buddies, whoever told me, they hoped and prayed I would become a massive drug addict it'll give them a huge excuse. But I didn't. Plus the company went south, as I explained. Also, be it also resolved by votes of F. Roseanne Bittner and Larry Bittner that Brian Bittner is temporarily suspended from his employ. Brian Bittner is temporarily suspended from his employ at Michigan Mold Polishing. The company will continue to carry insurance coverage for Brian as long as Brian Bittner is under the care and rehabilitation of a substance abuse program. A decision about Brian to return to full employment will be determined at a later date through a meeting with him after he returns. Currently, Brian Bittner is not allowed on the premises of Michigan Mold Polishing, nor is he to drive any of the company vehicles other than the 1985 Honda for which Brian paid for himself. So they leave and they steal every dime, every 100-hour week I worked, every night crawler I sold when I was 12. They stole all of it, and they leave me with a 1985 Honda that I can take that doesn't run. But it's on their property. Like I'm going to go on there because it'll get me arrested. Can anybody see the frustration here? That's where my name started getting tainted. But I didn't do anything. Okay? So if I just do what I do, we'll be fine, right? Professionals will do their job. So basically that's it. I couldn't leave. Now, my parents will say it's because of drugs. I say it's because of the Camaro. You want to know why? Because it's specifically called out here. It's bullshit. The drugs is a smokescreen. My dad was pissed off at me because I bought a Camaro and he thought it was Mr. Got Rocks. And he's like, you got more money than me? You think you got more money than me? God damn it. Okay, all right. What's it got? Why do you care? You should want that. Whatever. But it says here, it says that it was voted and agreed that the company 1994 Camaro will be sold and it will be run in the aeroplane and blah blah blah. The money will be used to purchase another pickup for the company. Right here. Company vehicle. The company vehicle part. I don't know if you read it or not. But like I say, I'll post this up. So I'm going to prove everything I say. There's no dispute. Mom, Dad. But you're more welcome to whatever. But anyway. So, right here. Sold as a company vehicle. Fine. If this had nothing to do with the Camaro, why are you selling it? And whatever. Okay, so now they start saying so owners. But in 1997, when I start back, now all of a sudden I start and everything's goes up again. So I'm a drug addict. We were going up, and I got caught. And went to rehab. We went down. I get out of rehab. We go back up. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months. 5 months of my life. I lost everything. Including my reputation, my name, my respect, everything. Now, everyone was mad because I was 21. I couldn't get older guys to work for me because they didn't want to be told what to do by a 21-year-old, blah, blah, blah. And then they thought, but I never disrespected anybody. I never, ever talked down to somebody. Never, ever act like I was better than somebody. Never, ever that I did try to demoralize anybody in anything. I wanted them to work for me, and I respect people in every way, every fashion, every form. My parents don't, obviously, but I do. I just want to do what I do because it's natural. See, when you're a real professional, it's natural. You don't brag. You don't say stupid crap. You don't try to say, you know what? I have my own business. What you gonna do? But you work at Walmart? Yeah, whatever. You don't do that. You're an asshole if you do that. Like my dad. But here we go. We're back in 1997. Okay? 1997, January 10th. 1997. From the corporate book. Here's the weird part. Income expenses for 1996 were discussed. Along with ways to make company run more efficiently, blah, blah, blah. 1997, gross income. 1996 was 513,000, balances, blah, blah, 90% of gross income. Payroll was, blah, blah, without payroll. Due to the income. 1996 was no greater than 95, which is a good profit. I had the actual number, I just don't know what's that right now. So, noted lately, employees have not been blah, blah, blah. Now here we go. This is January. The last one I just read was, what, just a month before that, 2 months before that. Okay? Look, in our corporate minutes, check this out. Corporate minutes. Look. I worked my ass off for this company. Check this out. It was voted on and agreed that the company-owned 1994 Camaro will not be sold. It will be given to Roseanne Bittner as secretary and treasurer of the company. So my mom gets the car while I go to jail. So she gets to drive it. And she looks so pretty, you know, because my dad won't ever spend any of her writing money, so they spend my money. Well, their money, I guess, whatever you want to say. It was voted on and agreed that Brian Bittner will be reinstated as company vice president and general manager. Brian will not be reappointed as director at this time, and his position of vice president job performance until his job relies on his job performance in 1997. Directors Roseanne and Larry Bittner reserve the right to remove Brian Bittner as an officer at any time he shows poor work performance. He's working me like a fucking dog. Okay? Poor work performance. He will remove Brian Bittner at any time. In any way jeopardize himself or the company in any unlawful conduct, duties, or respectful in any disrespectful manner. So they can me. Again. Now the reason I stay is my dad tells me this. I come back. I'm broke. I said, what's going on here? You gotta come back. We're losing money. You know, it's still yours. It's yours. It's, you know, we just walked out. Well, where's my money? God, you ain't getting no goddamn money. You're on drugs, guy. You're on drugs. So he goes off. So my parents take every dime of the company. In 1997, we start out with zero. They took all the cash, everything, assets, everything. If I wanted to come back to the business, they'll let me back in. You know, but I was on drugs. So you're gonna have to start zero. So my dad starts me at sweeping the floor at $350 a week while he's getting paid $800 salary. I'm working 100 hours a week. He's working 30. Okay? He demoralizes me when I get back. But they're crying like they really care. And they really love me. And they were really concerned. And I had to pretty much go with it because that was my life. And I can find a way to get it back. So I have to suck his ass. Okay? Literally. Listen to everything he says. And earn my way back into my company. While other people are looking at me like I'm a piece of crap. You're lucky your dad let you back in the company, son. You're lucky. I mean, you know, most fathers wouldn't do that. It wasn't his in the first place. You know what? We're so sick of hearing that, Brian. Listen, you're in denial. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. But if you say things like that, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Do you know how pathetic that is? Do you know how embarrassing? Do you know what's going through my head? Listen to that. Every single counselor, every single person in town I talk to, my counselor will be like this. I know he's just drawing smiley faces and shit at me like I'm an idiot. I tell him stories like, yeah, I don't know how we'd handle it. This is what I would do. I would just, you know, forget about it. You don't understand. My life was stolen in front of everybody. And they put me in jail because they stole my company. Son, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you gotta quit this. You've got to come to some type of emotional satisfaction here, and you just have to accept what it is. Okay, your parents financed you, and you were on drugs. No, they didn't finance me. Okay, they did. You're right. Okay, yeah, thank you. I know. No, I agree. Brian, I'm an addict, and that's fine. Okay, I'll keep working. So I did. Now watch what happens. I'm gonna show them up. And when obviously professionals will see, we went bloop down to nothing. Now I come back, bloop. we explode. It takes a lot of hours to do that. So apparently I'm some importance to this company. So I'm going to show them. I'm just going to show them that I'm important. Okay? 97 comes. Boom. My mom gets a Camaro. Nice car. Roseanne, nice car. Lioness, she's part of the Lioness. Oh, Roseanne, go. Oh, my goodness. I'm driving a piece of shit because I have no money because I filed bankruptcy in January of 97. She gets my Camaro. I filed bankruptcy because they wouldn't even pay my bills. They took all the money. So I started with zero. So my dad comes and says, you know, I have a Camaro. You got to start with zero. You know, I had drugs. That's the way it is. All right. I had no money. I couldn't start my own company again. I had to work for years and years and years to get back there. I'd never do it again. So fine. I'll stay here. I'll work it. He demoralized me. He embarrassed me. And believe it or not, in 2 years, by 1998, I paid completely for a brand new building that we built. We had profits again. Corporate books, which I will post, Mom and Dad. Profits. 97, 98, 99. Profits. Okay? It shows. And when I show you some of the other demoralizing papers in here, you might understand, maybe it'll hit to the point a little bit how hard it is on me to even talk about this. I offered to bury it, but they brought it back up. So here's the consequences for everybody. Okay? They lied about tons. They lied, and they lied, and they lied. And they just lied in trial. On the stand, my dad says he started the company. And my mom says she don't know if she signed this one paper or not. Of course they win, because everyone's against me and think I'm a piece of shit. Okay? We come back up 97, pay for a building. Phase 2. The new building that we built, that I paid for cash, if you look at the books, my mom and dad were getting thousands and thousands because I wanted to pay it off as fast as I could. My dad told me, you know, son, I want you to pay me lease on this building. It's still your building at all. It's only your building. He's lying. It's, you know, it's your building, but you got to pay me lease because, you know, I ain't got, I got my Social Security out of it. So I pay him lease. Idiot. I didn't think, only 1 in a billion can you have this bad of luck as I do. And parents like this, okay? I'm like, all right, whatever. They can't screw me over, whatever. I wasn't in this for the money. I was in this for the goal and the success and to try to achieve something. The feeling of a professional that does it. Well, the building caught fire. Now from 96, I got this bad name. I'm just an idiot. Drugs and everything. I got money only because of that. Now I built myself back up and I filed bankruptcy and still my parents give me nothing. I end up paying cash for my stuff again. So 98 now I'm doing okay. 2 more years of busting my ass, 100 hours a week. Now I'm getting paid hourly. Well, no, I didn't actually. I was salary. Went hourly till after that. But I get a salary and I saved it. Didn't do shit because I worked all the time. So I'll gotta be Al Capone if I'm working all the time. My building catches fire. We're open 24/7 except for Sundays. We're down 4 hours. So Sunday night, I get a call. My building's on fire. I'm like, oh my God. I go down there, run on it, and things burning. Imagine this. So the next day they put it out and everyone's looking at me. Now I already don't like everybody because they don't know shit about me. They talk smack about me. They think I'm nothing and I've done nothing. My mommy and daddy gave me everything, which they stole everything, and I gave them their wealth. So I can't say nothing. I gotta sit there. Guess what? Oh my God. We think it's arson. We think it's arson. Now, I'm going to show you a picture here. A little bit, okay, about this arson. But they wanted to demoralize me more. My parents never accused me of arson, but they never defended me at all. And I'm like, this is ludicrous. What do you mean arson? So they have to question me. The rumor was I started the fire to cover embezzlement or some stupid shit. That was the rumor. But I had to go through a full arson investigation, even a lie detector test. I started my own building on fire, which didn't even have enough insurance to cover the building because my dad's a tight ass, okay? But I'm running for arson. Here's Brian. Now the fire department people don't like me. To this day, they think I'm an asshole. Okay, probably. It's the way I feel. Well, they didn't. All the old timers went away, and I finally had a new start until this shit happened. And they brought it all back up. But I'm starting arson now. It's ridiculous. You look through some pictures, and I'll show you. I'm not a fire investigator, okay? And I'll let everybody look at all these pictures. And there's one picture Okay, for one, it's not even burned that bad. It's burned around the top. There's one area. It was fixable, and there was no loss of files. My embezzled files, and they weren't lost. Nothing was lost. Mainly smoke and fire damage in the roof. But they called it arson. So it's a big investigation. They said accelerants were used. We use the beams are soaked in kerosene probably, but whatever's on them. Either way, we use accelerants to polish. Acetones, kerosene, both all over the place, all the time. But that's not what they're after. They just wanted to bury me because they thought I was still the person they had. They never got me. See, in '96 they raided me. They did everything, but they never found nothing. So they're gonna get me. They know I get my money. My parents aren't giving me money anymore. They know that I make my money by illegal practices. I do something wrong. I'm sorry. I'm running drugs and guns somewhere, and they're gonna fight it. If they can't get me doing that, they're gonna get me doing something else. So let's try arson. Let's ruin his name some more. So everyone thinks I did this arson deal. Okay, lie detector test. I take a lie detector test. The guy comes back and goes, "Son." Just before they talked about how his whole life was in the lie detector test and they trained on it. He comes back and says, "You failed this test." I said, "If I failed that test, then you wasted your career. You wasted it because I had nothing to do with it, and that means that thing's a piece of crap. It means you need to find a different job." Okay, that's what I told him. Of course, he didn't like it, but then everything goes away. But they are telling this fire marshal, professional, to give me a lie detector test on evidence that they don't have. The reason being is I'll show everybody this picture, but I don't know anything about fire. I'm not that good with fire, okay? I'm not an arsonist, okay? But there's one picture, all of it's burned on the top. There's one picture in a corner with a melted piece of plastic, big pile of plastic, and a burn line going right up the center of it. In our diamond room that we use acetone and everything else. See, we allowed smoking back then, and when the guys cleaned up, which they had to before they left for the day, obviously probably threw an ashtray with a lit cigarette in there and didn't realize it. A couple hours later, it's burning. But it's arson. There was zero reason to call that arson. Zero reason. Maliciously attacked me and my name for no reason, and those professionals knew it. Any 3-year-old infant could figure out where that fire started. Does fire burn down a wall to a trash can? Or does a trash can line go up the wall? You tell me. It's in the pictures. You can't deny it. You can't make an excuse for it. What is the excuse? I could be wrong. Like I say, I'm not a professional. I could be wrong. But how in the hell does a pile of plastic melted and a thing go up the wall that's black and everything else from it burned up top? How can that not be the point that it started? Why am I being questioned for arson? Now I'm an arsonist. Great, there you go. But that went by. So now I'm got this more of a horrible name. Now I'm an arsonist, and I really feel like crap. The cops, firemen, no one likes me. They're all excuses what I got, but I don't care. Do my job. Successful company. Pay for my building, but the building burned. Here's phase 2. Now this is horrible. 1998, my building burns. We find a building in Coloma that we're at, Coloma Fruit Exchange. We buy it for $175,000, which is ironically almost the exact same money we had into the new building that we paid cash for on my dad's property, where Asparagus Farm's at. We built that. The company, my company that they said was my company, they don't protect me because I wasn't married yet. The company paid fully for that, paved my parents' driveway, paved that driveway, paved my driveway where I live, which is a half-mile long, which is $50,000, paid cash for all that. So we buy this building, we get a loan for it, because we don't have my dad wants to spend the cash because it's cash going in stocks, company stocks, okay? So we get a loan, because it's better to get a loan than pay cash for something we can make more money, which is true, it's fine, it's business. We get a loan for it. Lo and behold, come 2000, the property sells. My dad comes to the bragging. I sold the property. $288,000. I'm profit. I got a good profit on it. I said, "Oh my God, it's great." He sits at the round table. I said, "Dad, that's awesome, man. What do you do? What do you want to do? Pay this one off or what?" He goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You want to take the money to pay this building off? I mean, that way we can just want the mortgage. Or you want to invest it somewhere?" He's like, "It's my goddamn money." What are you talking about? Listen, he's pointing right in my face. That's my goddamn money. What the hell's wrong with this kid? You like, I'll sell it right now. I own it, goddamn. I'll sell it right now, goddamn. You ain't got shit. You want me to sell it? You want me to sell it right now? That's my goddamn money. Phase 2. Couldn't handle it. You know what? Screw off. Done with this crap. What does he do? Weird. Check this out. Books go straight up. Guess what? He goes back to his original BS excuse and says, "He's on drugs, John. He's on drugs." I'm mad. You just stole another $200,000 from me. That was my company. You just stole it. Okay? But no one believes me. He says I'm on drugs. Okay? Guess what? He calls the cops non-stop. Look at the files. I can prove it. Now, he's a drug, he's on trouble, So I'm freaking out. Because for 96, I'm like, oh my God, this is not gonna happen again. Shut the hell up, man. Are you serious? So I get pissed off, and he's afraid. Now you'll see the paperwork I show you, okay? You'll see what happens in 99. He freaks out because he's afraid, again, that I'm gonna oust him when I'm damned now, okay? I'm gonna show the proof that he robbed me, stole me, demoralized me, and ruined his son's future and his reputation and his name, everything he's worked for his entire life. Worked 50 times harder than he's ever worked for his own monetary gain. So what does he do? Columbia Township. They're like, really? And there they come after me. So I'm a bad guy again. I leave. I'm worried about him. I'm like, my God, I'm getting arrested. So what happens is time goes by, and the Columbia Township calls me down to the police station to question me about a girlfriend that I had 2 years, all the way up to that point. We just kind of separated a little bit. So they asked me questions about this girl. Have I touched her boob? Have you talked bad to her? And I'm like, no. What do you mean? What's going through my head is like, something's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. What are you doing? Now I knew my parents were up to something because they're going ballistic again. They're blaming me for everything, stealing money, you guys on drugs. But here's the problem: in 2000, not one time ever was I ever caught with drugs. Actually, since 1996 was the only time ever that I was associated with drugs. Not one time ever was I caught with drugs, given a positive drug test, anything, nothing. But yet I'm a massive drug addict again, and the cops are after me, and I need to be under control because he is a bad POS. So I can tell you, they made me look so bad that the cops fell for them again. They fell for the stupid excuses that they give. It's almost unimaginable. So they asked me the questions, and then now I'm going, this is weird. Here's the tape. This girl just called me. And she said, I love you, goodbye, everything. There's nothing wrong with her. They're questioning me about something that happened 8 months prior. I said, well, here's an audio tape, or a voice message from just yesterday. We don't have a problem. Why are you asking me these questions? What's going on? Well, you can't tell you something. We're just asking questions, following up and stuff. I'm like, okay. I don't trust you. We're the shit. So I go home and pack my bags. Okay. Within like 10 minutes. It's 20 minutes later, I get a call from a buddy. Guess what? They're raiding my house. Raiding my house. Ripping my cupboards off. Going looking for everything. Drugs, guns, everything. They're going to bust my ass. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do it. You know what they found? Nothing. They found an old hunting shotgun. Old Frenchie gun I got from my uncle. That's now dead. That they kept. They found it under my bed and charged me with felon possession of a firearm. But they had a new charge. This is the problem, and this is why I need to find either a new place to serve the charges that I have today, because Barron County is after me and they don't care. Okay? Because the Columbia Township, like today, are after me and they want to get me for anything. So what happened is that girl, that was my girlfriend, they talked to her and coerced her. I'm sure they had roundtable meetings on how to get me under control. My parents apparently have so much power in this town that they can control the police department. They lied, and they lied again for money. The Columbia Township fell for them, and now I'm wanted for a CSC charge, criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree, against this girl. I was blown away. It had to stick. Okay? When I found this out, I left again for a couple months. I'm like, this can't be happening. My business is losing. I'm losing my business. I just rebuilt the thing. What's going on? My father thought again that they could take what they had, what they did, a huge money, stole the 200,000 building. We had cash galore. Okay? I was arrested. I was searched. My rental car was destroyed. My house was destroyed. Everything was searched, looked into, investigated, everything, and they found zero. And you know what I think? That wasn't the way it was supposed to be. Because I went to jail and went to a full trial and was found not guilty. I was locked up for a year for doing nothing. A year. I was locked up for a year because Coloma Township and Barron County don't get their head out of their ass and they believe everything my parents say. They still to this day have no proof of nothing. I lost everything. This is my life. My life. I don't give a shit about you snot-nosed assholes that want to say I do stuff when I didn't. Now these people are professionals. Okay? But they might be indirectly involved, but they're listening to my parents. A historical romance novelist which writes lies for a living. Okay? And a father that just wants his money. He doesn't care. Who are they more than me? Why are they better than me? And why are you believing them over me? That's your thing. They really stuck their chest. Every time they see me, they're like, yeah, well, I'll get you, boy. Okay. I go to trial. The reason I think that they stuck with that bullshit, coerced thing from this girl is because they were too embarrassed. When they raided my house and found nothing, not even a pipe, not a joint, not a roach, my house was spotless. My rental car, when they finally got me, was spotless. They never got shit on me. So what do? They follow through with this bogus charge of criminal sexual conduct that I go to trial for. It wasn't supposed to be that way. When they raided my house, that was supposed to go away. Oh, we don't have enough evidence for that. But we're going to get him for the guns, the drugs, the paraphernalia. We got his ass now, guys. Woo! High five, boys! Nope. Found nothing. Did you? I never said nothing. Couldn't. If I did, I'm a liar. I'm making it up. I've been demolished for everything that I found. That I did in my life. I went to trial for a year. I was in trial, locked up for a year. Locked up for over 100 days in county jail. The rest on tether. Confined to my house because my parents wanted me out because I got to run the business again because now we're losing big money. But the reason I'm scared, like what happened today, or in this last couple of years here, is because I don't think you understand how it feels to be convicted, not convicted, of accused of a crime that you didn't commit. You had no clue what they're even talking about. But the whole state was after me. Everybody said I'm a bad character, I'm bad, but they have no proof of me ever being bad. Nothing. 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 If you do, let's hear it. What do you got? Ever. Hopefully this gets on Facebook or something. I hope this gets out to so many people that you can prove the case that I'm an idiot and a bad guy. Okay? I've done no good to nobody. I'm going to ask everybody when this is done too to give me their input. How many people did I diss out there? Did I do bad? Do it, say it, whatever. Nothing. A year. Not guilty in seconds. Trial, I think it was probably the fastest one ever not guilty. Cotter was the prosecutor. Judge now. Lucky me. I was found not guilty in like 3 minutes. I went up to get a pop and they back in. I'm like, oh my God, is that good or bad? Not guilty. I didn't plead to their peon little deals because I didn't do it. I stuck to my word and I didn't lie. I stuck to the truth and it worked. But I went to trial. I was inches away of getting butt raped, okay, in prison for something I didn't do. They risked my life, everything about it, because they wanted to convict me. Why? There was no evidence I did that. Her word against mine. There was nothing showing that I did anything to that woman. There was no marks. There was no nothing. There was no medical records. You maliciously and purposely convicted me or tried to and ruined my life for a year. Nothing. On top of that, I went in for bond when I got arrested. And lo and behold, who was there? When I went for arraignment, video arraignment. Who did I hear in the background? Oh, lo and behold, Larry and Roseanne Bittner. Oh my God, Judge, please don't let him out. Oh my God, you can't let him. He's ruining their family business. Like it's their business. He's taking all the money. He's doing everything. Oh my God. 65,000 cash. Boom. I didn't get no real bond. I had 2 other businesses at that time. Because of what happened in 96, I started a landscaping business, lawn mowing business. Got screwed out of those. Had to sell both of them. Never got a chance to get back into them thanks to my buddy that I started them with that they bought their first house with, and I never heard anything from that and lost a job. And I actually started the business and said, hey, let's do this. We started with a bunch of firewood. We started cutting firewood. We sold to stores and gas stations, built up lawn mowing and landscaping, and we built that. I gave him the opportunity to do that. You know what happened in the end? That's what he said to me. I had to sell it for bond money. I sold it for half my bond at $60,000 cash that I had to have. My daddy loaned me the rest, 12% interest, loaned me the rest so I could get out and go back to work. So I was on tether for 9 months. It's like the law is kissing their ass and doing everything they say. They're purposely destroying my life. I've had to live with this. I got through it. Kept my mouth shut. Then again, I built it up. Okay? 2000, I go to trial. This far from being ass raped in prison for a CSC charge that I didn't do. And they know I didn't do it. They wanted to go away because there was no evidence, but they couldn't because they wanted me so bad. And oh God, we didn't find nothing, but we know he's bad. We know he's running. We know something's up with that guy. We know it. So we're going to get him. Come on, boys. Let's go. I have seen more crime by Barron County and the cops and my parents than I've ever seen or committed in my life, by far. You know, in trial, when I was found not guilty, my mother goes on the stand under oath. And guess what she says? They made it up. I'm like, they made it up to get me under control. They had to control me somehow because I was out of control. Again. Because they were afraid that I would do what I'm doing today. And I'm finally doing it. After all this time. Because they struck me again. These people don't care about me. They never have. They're delusional. And something's wrong with their head. But the problem is the professionals that follow behind them are more delusional. They'll have one chance with me. Once. To get out of this. By giving me the facts of how many times my parents did call them. And let me know how much evidence did they actually have against me. Or maybe say, you know, we're sorry. You're treated unfairly. We thought you were this that they said they were, but now that you've proven you're not, you're not. And it's not just proven by me. I want other people to prove it. Say what you think about me. That you know me. Not what you think. People that have met me and talked to me. Just do that for once. Okay? Because now, the gunslinging, drug-head rapist, now I'm a rapist, arsonist, rapist, kingpin, whatever. Drug, whatever. Okay? I'm a rapist, an arsonist, drug addict, drug dealer. What else can it be? All rolled up in one. But the problem in 2000, remember the time frame? I got 5 months. Boop, boop. Okay, 96. Now, I keep being this huge villain, 96. Over 5 months of fucking up the day. Made me do. I would. I don't know what happened. Now in 2000, he sells my building, steals my money. I get pissed. You steal more money. You can't do it. There's no way. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get my money. I had no time to sue. They stripped me of my money again. I had to pay $100,000 for my attorney fees, my bonds, my everything. I lost everything. Then I get out and I'm fine. How in the hell can that 1 year period change a man so much that now he's a good guy? But no one ever thought that. They thought they still needed to get me. I got away with that trial. We know you raped that girl. Which it wasn't even rape. But she said I pushed her on the bed, grabbed her on the outside of her clothes, told her I was going to rape her, and let her up. That was the accusation. That was the accusation. Enough to put me in imprisonment for a year, awaiting trial. That far from getting butt raped, when they knew it was a lie. I was supposed to be happy, right? Go back to work. And my parents come again. My parents take everything again in 2000. They tell everybody now, to this day, it's 17 years later. 17 years later, 2017, I rebuild this company. Our sales are topping $5 million a year. I built to over 50 employees, just in M&M polishing alone. I got 4 other companies. B&E LLC, my property company owns all my properties. Michigan Mold, my CNC machining company, was 11 CNC machines. Okay? Now I'm building machinery, or I'm building components for machinery, and I'm polishing for mold makers. Okay? People know me in this trade. Okay? All together, almost 70 workers just in manufacturing in Coloma. 70 people that I trained, I hired, or I hired in that were trained, but we're all working. My parents are making buku bucks. They say I owe them all this money. That they finance it coming? Oh my God. They're lying. Because what happened in 2000 when I came back, remember all the cash we made? I can prove the cash that we had in hand. It was the company cash. Now I'm getting these loans for a company that's not even mine. I thought they own the company. But I got all these loans now. Now we got our first loans in 2000 called a payroll loan. I'll show you those books too. You know why it's called a payroll loan? They took all my money again. Now in 96, I had enough money coming in fast enough to start payroll again at zero. The book started at zero, remember? Bankrupt. They took every dime. I started with zero again. Built it back up 98. Boom, bankrupt, 2000. They took all my shit again. Unbelievable. But now it's like, wait, so I'm going to get this. Now I can now again. I'm just like it was in 96. Broke. Not a penny to my name. Not a penny. My dad comes to me. Payroll comes up. Now my payroll's 20 grand a week. Okay, by 2000, we got quite a bit going on. We going to building in 98. From 98 to 2000, we boomed. Till I went to fucking jail. Excuse my language. Till I went to jail for 110 days until I could find a way to bond out when I stole my other 2 companies, which is what's his goal, because he wants me making him money. He wanted me over here. That's why he's so mad. Okay, he's just mad. I'm out of control. The lies are pathetic. Okay? He comes to me and he goes, I don't know, how are you going to make your payroll? I mean, you ain't can quit right now. I got my money, son. I got my money. If you need money for payroll, I mean, you don't have nothing in your bank account. You got payroll coming up tomorrow. I can loan you the money, 10% interest if you want to. You're going to loan me my own money back at 10% interest? Are you kidding me? If you don't want it, goddammit, I'll close the place. If you don't want it, well, I got it, man. I got what I need. You know what you want. I can't believe you're even arguing with me about this. You want the money or not? Yep, Dad. Go ahead. Find me the papers, and you owe me money right here. Well, you owe me. I'll loan you $40,000 right now to pay payroll. You got to pay me back at 10% interest, all right? On top of my huge salary you're paying me, and your mom, and my vehicle, and my health insurance. All right, sign it right here. Sure, Dad. I knew I could make enough money to get out of this eventually, but we got into CNC machining back then. As you know, if anybody knows anything about business, which obviously he knows nothing about business. As you grow, your receivables grow. Okay? So it costs money to get that. So with top of paying him, I was spending money because we're growing fast. We go from 1 million to 5 million. Okay? So every company that doesn't get paid on the spot has accounts receivable. In my trade, lucky me, people pay within like 30 to 90 days, sometimes more, 120 days before we get paid. Or for future products, it's the way it is. GM says we'll pay in 2 years, whatever. Guess I don't know what idiot let that happen a long time ago, but that's the way it is now. So we have a lot of money owed to us. Now, if anyone knows anything about profit margins, even if you're 20%, okay, how much money does it cost to produce 100,000 clear that's owed to you, accounts receivable? How much cash does it cost to produce that money? If you're 20%, it's 80,000. So I was growing. All my cash was going into my receivables, okay, paying the expenses at that time. So that's good, I guess, in a way, but you plateau. Now this accounts receivable stays with you forever until you go out of business. This is your nest egg. And then I switch to well, it's a long story anyway. But you stay there, okay? So someday, if you go out of business or you sell, that's part of the equity of the company. Or you take it yourself and you just let the money come in for the next year and be all happy. Okay, well, it's now happy. So that's how the loan started. So my dad brags all over town. I'm on that. He owed me $1 million. He loaned me money for payroll. Then he made up other money that I owed him. Then he made other money, loans. I was paying my parents 17 years later. This gets confusing. I'll explain more later. But where it holds comes down to M&M polishing was made in 2008 because of what happened in 2000. I knew it. So I bought out. Our Maximum Mold and Michigan Mold merged. Smaller polishing shop, bigger polishing shop, we merged, called M&M Polishing. Okay, eventually, I owned 100% of M&M Polishing because my partner wanted to build molds, which I couldn't do because we can't compete with our customers. Michigan Mold, the CNC machining part, built components, which didn't compete with our customers. We're doing machinery components, which is completely opposite of mold building. That's the way I wanted to run it. But it got to a point to where we're paying my father $21,000 a month. Principal and interest on stupid, made up BS. Okay? I can show you the loan papers. But in 2005, I actually bought Michigan Mold from him. So 2000, we get in this big rub, and I was fine, not guilty in the trial. 4 years later, he finally sells me Michigan Mold. Obviously, we're a huge debt to him. He says we owe him $500,000 because I don't know why. He just says it and he writes down, I gotta do it. If I don't do it, he's just gonna sell it. You want me to sell it? You want it, I'll sell it to someone else. I'm selling right now. I'll go right now. What do you do? Well, you go back to work for your customers if you want. I'm sure someone's gonna hire you. You can be a salesman or something, probably. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for the positive comments. Sure. I'll buy it from you. Yeah. Right up. Where are you gonna buy it for this much? No, Dad, I'm not. All right. You're not gonna. Yeah, you are, goddammit. You're right here. You're gonna do it. Okay, Dad. Whatever. Get away from me. So I signed these papers to purchase it. Ridiculous. Okay? He tells me I buy a company for like $500,000. Okay, this is his half. He says, yeah, my half. Now I'm saying halves. Okay, now I own something, whatever. But I never owned a penny of this company until 2005. So I bought it in 2005, and I was supposed to buy all the shares over a period of time. Okay? And I was paid $1,000 a week, which is another $4,000 a month. So I paid him his $4,000 a week. Okay? Finally, he knew the debts he had, and the interest was phenomenal. 12% on most loans. Lowest was 8%. 10%, I mean, it was ridiculous. And he had this big loan, which has a bunch of margin calls on it from the stock market. That when the stocks went down, he was getting margin calls and paying for it, added to this loan to the company. But I don't own any stocks, he says, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. See, now in 2017, all right, now so, trying to calm down a little bit. Apologize if I get a little too worked up, but this is a real story, a true story, and a real life, a real career that's been ruined. Future, I have a son. 80 people. 80 employees that I consider my family are now gone. One more thing about the 2000 trial. Remember that voice message that the two cops questioned me, recorded on a little tape recorder, and played it back? Sound proof? Well, you should be fine then. You know what happened to that tape? Who knows? It got lost. Look it up, it's in the transcripts. They lost my evidence. So not only did they purposely lose my evidence and purposely accuse me of this stupid, idiotic, ridiculous charge, they risked my life. These are supposed to be professionals. I've done nothing. They have nothing. But yet I was able to overcome. I started again in 2000, like I said. Bought my dad out in 2005. Built the company up. Just that many employees, almost 80, with all my companies. I had it made. 17 years go by. Now I'm a crazed rapist, arsonist, drug addict, gun runner. But the only times they accuse me is 4 months in 96 and a year in 2000. But they're still after me. I'm still a bad person, a menace to society. I was able to build a company and be this bad person. The next 17 years. I got married in 2001. Had my son 2003. Come 2017, Trump becomes president in 2016, and I go to my dad. I write him this letter, basically telling him that he's got it made. I've been paying him $20,000 a month for years. I can't afford it. This is my time. I'll post the original letter that I wrote him, the most heartfelt letter that you could ever hear from a son. Even after his father and his mother put him through all of that, I was willing to forget it if you would please, please accept $5,500 a month for life. $18 an hour. Don't even have to punch in. Just give me your hours every week. A free company vehicle. And let me have my money to grow. I need to rebuild the inner of my company, the inner core. Because everything was so old. He took everything. I can't build new things. He's taking all the money. $20,000 a month he's taking from me now that I'm paying. I can't sustain it. I'm getting loans to pay his loans from him. He's going, what do you mean? I get a $60,000 loan. Yeah, $60,000 loan again? What do you know? Why? Probably because I'm paying you $20,000 a month. That's going to last me 3 months. Are you kidding me? And I'm growing. He knows nothing about business. It was 100% him. He didn't care about me. I once told him, Dad, I have a son now and I'm married. If I get hurt, I have to have a constant income. Well, you can't do that. What do you mean? I got to guarantee that I'm getting so much money. You can't afford it. If you can't work, you're not getting paid. What an asshole. Fine. 2015. The payments are too high. I have to sell all the assets of Michigan Mold. All my CNC machinery. It was horrible. Let my guys go. I'm losing money. I can't. M&M Polishing now, that I started in 2008, that he has nothing to do with. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely zero. He has no ownership in that at all. Nothing. He knows it. He don't like it. But I sell. I can't remember, $750,000 or something like that. All my assets. Except 3 lake lots that are attached to Michigan Mold. And something I ain't brought up yet, but you'll find out about it. And I walk away with nothing. I give him a check for $300,000 cash after the sale. I get zero. Now remember, I get zero. He gets another $300,000 check from me, which I can prove it. I can even show you the copy of the check. Yeah, I can prove everything I say. Everything. Dad, Mom, Toma Township, Barron County. Everybody thinks I'm an idiot. $300,000 check. You know what he says to me? I was hoping my dad would say, all right, it's gonna go. Good luck with him and Alan. Nope. You know what he says to me? You still owe me $1 million. You know that, right? You still owe me a fucking $1 million. Phase 3. I question what I owe and why I owe it. Now, I just put a brand new addition on my building in Kelowna. Okay? I had enough to pay for that, but I bought a new crane, 20-ton crane, with my own money, not his. The company had enough money, and top of paying him is $20,000 a month. I ended up letting him, like an idiot, mortgage my building that was in Beanie LLC's name. I sold it to him, and they gave me the $200,000 back. Of course, he was getting $300,000, whatever. $200,000 to build my new addition and pay for it. So now I'm in debt to him, Larry and Roseanne Bittner Trust, which they have 7, because they're filthy freaking rich. I had to pay them. Now they are my mortgagee. So what do you think happened this time? I pissed my daddy off.
Pause it.
Michigan. Hold on.